Today we're going to make robots using things that we should have at home. White paper, pencil, eraser. You can use a Sharpie. You're definitely going to need washable markers. So on your marker, just make sure that it says washable, because later we're going to turn it into paint using water and a paintbrush. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our robot. I'm going to start with pencil just so I can get it the way I like it. And you're going to start with the shape for the robot body. I like to start with the body first so I make sure that I have enough room. So let's see, I'm going to make, a rectangle body. And then my robot needs a head. So for the head, I'm going to do another shape, maybe how about a rainbow head and then a line across. Okay, so this is his head, and he might have some like sprockets on either side that look kind of like ears, but they're nuts and bolts. He might have, or she might have, an antenna on top. I'll give it a little bit of a bulb, and maybe it's transmitting. The robot needs some way to connect the head and the body, so you could give it kind of a spring look, or you could use circles to connect it. And we're gonna give our robot some legs. My robot has a short body, so it's gonna have long legs. And these rainbow feet at the bottom. Oh, and then my robot's gonna be saying hi. So I'm gonna give him some arms, and he's waving. He's got these little like clipper hands, and then I'm gonna give his arms some lines, and then maybe this arm is going down like this with a clipper hand, and then give him some lines this way. Give him some circle eyeballs. You can make these eyes however you want. He is looking up, so I'm gonna make his eye like a half circle, and they're gonna be going the same direction. And he has a mouth, two smiley faces, and I'm gonna give him some teeth-looking things like that. And I can just keep adding things. Maybe he needs some buttons and a display. Maybe he's got like a fuel gauge and some buttons going down, and maybe some more buttons. Maybe he's got some readers this way, or some gauges. And once I've got my robot about how I like him, maybe he needs some lines going down this way, I can either go over my lines with Sharpie now that I kind of know what I like. And if I do that, I'm gonna do it very slowly. Or I can use my pencil, and since he's made out of metal, I can go and I can color very lightly with my pencil and shade around the edges. And since he's probably pretty flat squared for this one, so he'll mostly be one color. And I'll kind of leave those buttons uncolored. But for his legs, if they're going around, they're gonna get darker towards the sides. So I'm going to color darker on the side, and as I'm coloring lightly with my pencil, it's gonna kind of get a flat spot, and so it'll make it color a little bit smoother on the sides. And color down this way and that way, but I'm gonna leave the center lighter because that's gonna make his legs look round. And I might even go back and kind of make it really dark on the sides. And his boots are gonna be light on top and dark on the bottom because they're kind of rounded at the top. And his arms also will be darker on the sides, and darker on the sides this way. plumpers. Then I'm going to also kind of shade his face the way I shaded the boot. So it's going to be a little bit darker towards the bottom, but light on top because that's where the light is hitting it. Darker right here, darker right here. And then his neck is also kind of curved around, so it's going to be lighter on the sides. Now for the fun part. I can make all kinds of designs. I'm going to do them around the outside of my robot with my washable markers. So I can color a lot, or I can just do a few lines. And I'm going to use one color, and then when I'm done with one color, I'll do the next color. That way, I don't have to keep switching back and forth. I might switch a little bit because I decide I want more of one color. I might add some circles and some more patterns. So once you've done your robot, like I said, you could outline with Sharpie, or if you want to be able to paint your robot gray, you can actually use the washable black marker. So either is good. There's really not a right way or a wrong way to do this. You're just going to want to outline your lines before you paint with water. Okay, so now that I've outlined my lines with Sharpie and I've shaded in my robot and I've drawn my different colored lines and patterns, I'm going to take my water with and my paintbrush, and I'm going to just start to smear the lines with my paintbrush and water. Now, this may seem like it's not working at first, but just use a little bit of water because you'll start to see things move around. And you can just paint your lines and it'll start to smear. So you can see that this one is starting to smear, and it just kind of makes your lines look softer than if you left them dry with just the marker.